Welcome to this critical emergency interactive session convened by the Committee on Finance to address the current state of our economy and explore viable solutions to the pressing issues we face today. Your presence and insights are highly valued, and we are grateful for your participation. Today's session brings together key stakeholders to engage in comprehensive discussion on several vital issues. And these issues are not far from what the present administration is doing. If you all recall, this administration has been bold enough to come up with so many policies in order to restructure the economy itself and make it more vibrant. And the committee have looked at most of these policies, and we believe that these are policies that are in their need of everyone's support. As such, the committee wants to know how far the implementers of these policies are going, because it's not only good to roll out good policies, but how are these policies being implemented as well? So with all the good intention of Mr. President, who we must commend for doing what he has done, we must also give him all the necessary support to aid him in order to achieve all these policies that have been rolled out. So part of this meeting will dwell on the current economic indicators and their implications. We will analyze the latest economic data, discuss what should be done in the short term to improve economic conditions, and address how to manage the environmental impacts of these economic activities. Two, we will strategize to mitigate economic challenges. We will explore strategies to support businesses and households through increased government spending and productivity, reducing high interest rates and other measures to curtail inflation and the high cost of living. Policy recommendations and action plans that government have rolled out, we also discuss on how we can possibly, from our own side here, support those policies through legislation or through amendments of certain legislations to make them work. Our goal is to formulate actionable policies, to allow government to formulate actionable policies that will stimulate the economic growth and ensure long-term economic stability. Collaborative efforts between public and private sectors too, we want to look at it, see how not everything should be left to government. We should also try to see where the private sector can come in to mitigate certain aspects of the challenges we are having today. So we will discuss how collaboration between the public and private sectors can leverage resources and expertise to effectively address these challenges. Managing challenges of petroleum products. Our own concern as a committee is the financing aspects, and also the revenue that is accrued from there. We will delve into strategies for managing petroleum products pricing, supply management, and boosting domestic production. Additionally, we look forward to the NNPCL providing clarity on the issue of refinery refurbishment and commissioning, crude oil production levels, revenue streams, and the current availability of products across the country vis-a-vis the price situation. Your expertise and experience are invaluable to this dialogue. We believe your participation will greatly enhance the outcome of this session and help us formulate actionable strategies as legislators for economic recovery and growth. We look forward to a fruitful discussion that will pave the way for a stronger and more resilient economy.
Just to ensure that revenues are clearly identified, accounted for, a lot of digitization has taken place. I'm hesitant to say we have sorted the ways and means, but we have done, there's a lot of progress. And so that, from a fiscal point of view, has been quite supportive. We have been able to fund the personnel and the current side of the budget. Last week, we were here at the second arm of the National Assembly, the House of Reps, and the Capital Development Fund, the Accountant General reported that currently has over 2 trillion in it, but because of the maybe combination of familiarity issues with the new bottom-up cash planning and procurement system, the budget implementation has not been as speedy as, and compounded to that is other challenges. Economic reforms have their lags, and sometimes between the benefit of the reform and the cost of the reform, there is a gap, and needless to say, interventions are necessary in order to ensure that those that are most vulnerable, or those at the lower end of the income strata, are supported to do better. A number of interventions have been approved by Mr. President. The very well-known ones were the energy transition in order to deepen CNG penetration, both as an alternative to the more expensive petroleum motor spirit and as an avenue to ensure energy competitiveness so that our industries, our transport sector, our irrigation services can run on cheaper sources of petroleum. Interventions to support the vulnerable and the weak have been ongoing. Yes, the reform of the social investment programs have caused some delay in transfers to the household that were, the 50 million households that were anticipated. But a lot of progress has been made in digitization of the register in such a way to generate confidence. That was not to this, is to say that the negotiations with the Nigerian Labour Congress have been ongoing to ensure that there is no further disruption in the economy, and one has to thank again the leadership of the National Assembly for the commendable role they played in ensuring that there is understanding by all. The economy, our economy is linked to the global economy, and we cannot escape the consequences of the energy challenges that are happening in the global economy, which have affected global energy prices, have affected fertilizer prices, and the supply chains are yet to come back to normal. And the commendable effort supported by the National Assembly, by Mr. President, to say, let us confront our reality for once. It's not without cost, but we are dealing with those challenges, and we are sure with all the support from the National Assembly, we will surmount those challenges.
This country, as we have said, will be a net exporter of petroleum products by the end of this year, and we're very optimistic that by December this country will be net exporter. That means a combination of production coming from us and also from the Dangote refinery and other smaller producing companies that we know are in line to do this. So I can confirm to you, Mr. Chairman, that by the end of the year, this country will be a net exporter of petroleum products. Now, coming specific to NNPCL refinery, as you recall, and you have spoken to a number of your committees, that it is impossible to have the Kaduna refinery come to operation before December. It will get to December. Both Warri and Kaduna and Port Harcourt will, as you recall, Mr. President, we did mechanical completion. Let me explain this very clearly. We did have mechanical completion of the Port Harcourt refinery, which means that every technical work that is required to get the refinery onto work has been completed. This is what we announced December last year, if you recall. Once you are mechanically completed for an existing refinery, even for new ones, there are a number of technical steps that you have to take when you are introducing hydrocarbon into this plant. It is only then that you will see the real challenges of even a new refinery. And I can confirm to you today that we have gone through this. We are already introducing hydrocarbon under a hot situation, that's what we call it. And I'm very sure that latest by early August, the Port Harcourt refinery all will start producing product. And of course, the new one will get to December. and Wari will also be in production. I'm very optimistic. I don't have any confirmation at this moment, so that nobody cuts me and say this, keep lying. They were not lying to you, Mr. President. It's a technical process. With your best of intention, you can put dates on refinery startup, but it's when you get to startup that you will see the real challenges, even for a new refinery. As you can see, even the new Dangote refinery, it really has to take steps and processes to get it to full operationality. This is very normal in refinery operations, so we don't put hard dates on it because there are things that you are never in control. Otherwise, we can confirm to you that we are taking every step to make sure that it works.
The National Assembly is very concerned because we are the representatives of the people, and we are obliged to ask what is happening. And this is the reason why such a meeting is very important. And we have heard from them. At least they have given us a preamble of the activities going on how our economy can get back to track. You are all aware of the obstructions our economy have had in the previous years, and it's not going to be easy that overnight, in 365 days or in 1 year of the coming administration, things will change. It will be gradual, and I believe that Nigerians will persevere. This is the only time we can all come together as Nigerians to give His Excellency the President all the needed support in order to get us out of the doldrum we have been. And you can see the indicators are showing that the economy is doing well. The only thing is that things are a bit difficult because it's not easy for an inflation that have gone up to go down like that. It takes time. There are some indices, there are some indicators that have to work together.
The easiest way for Nigeria to come out of these economic problems is through the oil and gas sector. The easiest and quickest way for us to come out of it. That's why it's absolutely imperative that we work together as one government. The executive cannot succeed without the support and collaboration of the National Assembly. And I want to commend the support that we've gotten so far from the members of the National Assembly. As the sector, we have a clear plan, to gradually ramp up production. You will agree with me that we are gradually ramping up production. We are not where we want to be, but we started well. Right now, we have a clear plan to see how we can get 2 million barrels and more. And I believe that we need the support of all members of the National Assembly. We need the support of all Nigerians to be able to achieve that. We also, the country, the midstream and the downstream, our fiscals, are to be globally competitive. But you agree with me that before now, company was that investors are coming. Investors have started coming, but this government has decided to, make a fiscal condition, a governance in the condition of structure globally competitive. I believe that, a lot more will be said when we go into executive session. I just wanted to add these few words, to what my colleague, Honorable Minister of Budget and National Planning, had already said. Let me conclude by saying that the time has come for us to take some very bold decisions. If we don't take them now, it might be too late. And for us to take that, for those bold decisions, we need the collaboration of members of the National Assembly and the entire Nigerian society for us to achieve that.
We have in the last 1 year been in some challenging times, especially in the economy. We are confident at the Central Bank of Nigeria that those challenging times, we've gone through the worst of them, and we are, as a country, emerging stronger. We are quite certain, Mr. Chair, that the tough decisions that have been taken over the last 10 to 12 months are addressing some of these challenges that have been there with us for decades. And while the situation is still not where we would want it to be, we are quite confident, Mr. Chair, distinguished members, that we are approaching situations where we would all be better for it. We faced, Mr. Chairman, a triple challenge at the beginning of this administration, which was persistent and rising inflation, challenges with the FX rate and the FX market, and also issues around food inflation. Mr. Chairman, we can report that this, although inflation continues to rise, it is doing so at a decelerated rate, and we are quite confident that by the next couple of months to the end of the year, we will be able to significantly make a dent on the inflation challenges in the economy. As the Honourable Minister of Budget and National Planning has mentioned, we cannot delink ourselves from the larger global economy. And some of these challenges are what other economies, both developed and developing, are going through at the moment. We are quite eager at the Central Bank of Nigeria to continue to work with the fiscal side and indeed with the National Assembly and other parts of the economy to ensure that we are able to bring an improvement in the lives of all Nigerians. In summary, Mr. Chair, and in closing, I'm sure that we'll have an opportunity to talk much more in detail at the executive session, but we are confident that the direction of travel is positive, and the Central Bank of Nigeria is alive to its responsibilities and is very eager to ensure that we assist in the current
in our current economic situation. And we understand the importance of this. We are taking every step that is practical for us to achieve this. We are already seeing growth in our oil and gas production because of certain actions that Mr. President personally took, and also the very mere truth that we have also declared a war on the production activities, and this is paying. The combination of these two has now seen us restoring production in our country, and we believe that, as the Honourable Minister has said, that we have a line of sight to the 2 million barrels production and subsequent growth in production. I will give you some details during the executive session. Also, we are affirming that NNPC will keep to its responsibility under the Petroleum Industry Act, which requires that we ensure national energy security when everyone else walks away. And we are informing also that we have sufficient product supply in our country. There is no cause for any alarm today, and we are guaranteeing this supply despite the huge challenges that it poses to our resources, and of course many multitude of issues creating those challenges, including cross-border smuggling and so on. But we are living up to this. The respective government institutions are playing their part, and we are seeing a clear indication of success in this direction, while NNPC continues to bear the enormous pressure that continuous supply of petroleum products does to you. But this is a requirement of the law. We'll continue to do this, and I will give you further details during the executive session. Otherwise, Mr. Chairman, we believe that this company is living to its responsibility. We are making progress. We are returning value to shareholders. We are restoring all the confidence that is required on this company to serve its shareholders, the whole Nigerian population, on the basis of the provisions of the law, the company and allied matters, and the PIA and other enabling legislation.